There are moments in life when everything becomes quiet. Not peaceful quiet, but empty quiet. The kind of silence that makes you feel alone, even in a crowded city. Tom knew that silence. He lived with it every day. He smiled outside, but inside, something was slowly breaking. This is the story of how he lost everything, and how, in that loss, he finally found himself. Tom's life was simple, too simple. Every morning at 6 a.m., his alarm rang. The same sound, every day. He opened his eyes slowly. For a few seconds, he stayed in bed, staring at the ceiling. His room was small. White walls, no pictures, no decorations. It felt cold, just like his heart. He sat up, took a deep breath, and said quietly, "Another day." But there was no excitement in his voice, only tiredness. When he looked in the mirror, he didn't see a young man with dreams. He saw someone surviving, not living. On the street, people rushed past him. Some were talking, some laughing, some angry. Everyone looked alive. Tom walked among them, but he felt invisible, like he didn't belong anywhere. The office was bright, too bright. White lights, clean desks, quiet keyboards. Tom sat in his chair and stared at his screen. Numbers, emails, reports. Again and again. He moved his hands. He did his job well. But his heart was not there. Sometimes he stopped typing and looked at the window. The sky was blue. Clouds moved slowly. And for a moment, he felt something. A small feeling. A memory. But then, "Tom, can you finish this report?" The voice pulled him back. "Yes," he replied. And just like that, the feeling disappeared. At lunch, he sat alone. He watched others talk and laugh. He wanted to join, but something inside him stopped him. A quiet voice said, "You don't belong here." And slowly, he started to believe it. That night, Tom came home later than usual. He felt heavy, not in his body, but in his soul. He sat on the floor in the dark. He didn't turn on the light, because the darkness felt honest. His eyes slowly moved. Under the bed, the box. He hadn't touched it in years. His heart beat faster. He pulled it out, opened it slowly. Inside, his camera. His fingers trembled as he touched it. Memories came back like a wave. Warm sunlight, golden afternoons, the sound of laughter. Moments he once loved. He remembered running in the streets, trying to catch the perfect shot. He remembered feeling excited, alive, free. "I was happy," he whispered. But then, his face changed. His eyes became heavy again. That was a different life. He closed the box, and with it, he closed a part of himself. The meeting room was silent, too silent. Everyone felt it. Something was wrong. The manager spoke slowly. "Business is not good. We must reduce staff." Tom felt his chest tighten. His hands became cold. He didn't move, didn't speak, just listened. Name after name, each one like a hammer. Then, Tom. Time stopped. He couldn't hear anything else. Only his heartbeat. Loud, heavy, real. He stood up slowly. His legs felt weak. He packed his things without looking at anyone. When he walked out of the building, he stopped. The city was still the same, but his life was not. That night, Tom didn't eat. He didn't sleep. He just sat in the dark. His thoughts were loud. Too loud. "I failed. I'm not good enough. I have nothing." Tears came, slow at first, then stronger. He didn't stop them. because he couldn't. He hugged himself tightly, as if trying to hold himself together. I don't know what to do. His voice broke. For the first time in years, he allowed himself to feel everything. Fear, pain, loneliness, and deep inside, something else. A question. Is this really the end? Morning came. Soft light entered the room. Tom opened his eyes slowly. He felt empty, but also calm. He looked at the box again. This time, he didn't hesitate. He took the camera, held it tightly. I don't know what will happen, but I will try. Outside, the world felt different. Or maybe he was seeing it differently. A child smiling. Click. An old man walking slowly. Click. A woman looking tired but strong. Click. Each photo felt like a heartbeat. Each moment felt real. Tom took a deep breath. Tears filled his eyes. I missed this. But happiness is not always strong. At night, fear came back. What if this doesn't work? What if I fail again? What will people think? His chest felt tight again. He sat on his bed, holding the camera. His hands were shaking. I'm scared. He closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and said softly, but I don't want to live without this anymore. That sentence changed him. Anna visited him. She saw something new in his eyes. Not happiness, but life. Tom showed her his photos. She looked carefully, very carefully. These are not just pictures, she said. They feel real. Tom looked down. No one will care, he said. Anna smiled gently. Maybe someone will. That night, Tom posted his photos online. 1, 2, 3. Days passed. Nothing. But this time, he didn't feel sad because he finally understood. He was not doing this for attention. He was doing this for himself. Then one day, everything changed. A comment, then another, then many. One message said, I feel your photo. It feels like my life. Tom read it again and again. His hands trembled. His heart felt full. For the first time, someone saw what he saw. Someone felt what he felt. Tears fell again. But this time, they were warm. I'm not alone. Time passed. Slowly, beautifully, Tom worked, learned, grew. He failed sometimes, but he didn't stop, because now he had something stronger than fear. He had purpose. One evening, he stood on a rooftop. The sky was orange, soft, peaceful. He lifted his camera. Click. He looked at the photo, and then he smiled. A deep, real smile. I am a photographer. Not because others said so, but because he finally believed it. Success did not come every day. One afternoon, Tom had his first big job. A small cafe asked him to take photos for their shop. Tom was excited, very excited. The night before, he couldn't sleep. What if I do well? What if this is the start? But also, what if I fail? The next day, he arrived early. He checked his camera again and again. His hands were cold. When he started taking photos, something felt wrong. The light was too strong. The angle was not good. The photos didn't feel right. His heart began to beat fast. Why can't I do it? The owner looked at him. Tom forced a smile. I will try again. But inside, he was breaking. That night, he looked at the photos. They were not good. Not like his street photos. Not full of emotion. Just empty. Tom sat in silence. I thought I could do this. For a moment, He wanted to quit. The next morning, Tom felt heavy, very heavy. Failure hurts, especially when you care. He almost didn't leave the house. But then he picked up the camera. I need to understand why. He went outside again. He watched the light. He watched people. He didn't take photos at first. He just observed. Slowly, he started again. Click. This time, he didn't rush. He waited. He felt the moment, and something changed. Not perfect, but better. Tom whispered, "I can learn." That simple sentence gave him strength. As Tom continued his journey, something became clear. This path was lonely. His old friends were busy. They had stable jobs, stable lives. Sometimes they asked, "Are you still doing photography?" Tom smiled. Yes, but inside, he felt different. He didn't belong to their world anymore. And he didn't fully belong to the new one yet. He was in between. At night, the loneliness came. Deep and quiet. He looked at his phone. No messages, no calls, just silence. He held his camera. This is my only friend now. But somehow, that didn't feel sad. It felt honest. One day, something unexpected happened. Tom was taking photos in the street. An old man watched him. After a while, the man walked closer. "You see things differently," the man said. Tom was surprised. "What do you mean?" The man smiled. "You don't just look, you feel." Tom was quiet. No one had ever said that to him before. "Don't stop," the man continued. "People like you are rare." Then he walked away, just like that. But those words stayed. All day, all night, Tom looked at his camera and said, "Maybe I'm on the right path." Weeks later, Tom received a message. A small magazine wanted to use his photo. Tom read the message again and again. Is this real? They offered him a small payment. Not much, but to Tom, it meant everything. When he saw his photo published, he couldn't breathe for a moment. "That's mine." Tears filled his eyes. Not because of money, but because of meaning. For the first time, his work had a place in the world. But success brings new fear. What if I can't do it again? What if this was just luck? Tom started to overthink. He took fewer photos. He became careful, too careful, and slowly he lost the feeling again. One day, he looked at his photos and said, "These don't feel like me." That moment scared him, more than failure, because he felt like he was losing himself again. Tom went back to where it all started. The streets, no job, no pressure, just him and the camera. He walked slowly, watched carefully, waited. Then, a moment, a real moment. Click. He looked at the photo and smiled. That's it. The feeling came back. Warm, real, alive. He understood something important. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be honest. Time passed. Tom became stronger, not just in skill, but in heart. He learned to accept failure. He learned to trust himself. He worked with more people, met more stories. Each face, each moment taught him something new. He was no longer just taking photos. He was connecting with life. And slowly, people started to notice. One day, a big opportunity came. A large project. A real challenge. Old Tom would be afraid. But now, he took a deep breath and said, "I will do it." The work was hard. Very hard. But Tom gave everything. His time, his energy, his heart. When it was finished, he looked at the result, and for the first time, he felt proud. Not because it was perfect, but because he didn't give up. Years later, Tom stood in a quiet place, his camera in his hands. The same one, but he was not the same man. He was stronger, braver, more alive. He looked at the world differently now, not with fear, but with curiosity, not with doubt, but with belief. He lifted his camera. Click. Then he smiled and said, I didn't just find photography. I found myself. Sometimes life breaks you. Sometimes it takes everything away. But maybe that's how it gives you something real. Tom lost his job, but he found his soul. And maybe you are standing at the same place, lost, scared, uncertain. But remember this, you are not finished. Your story is not over. This may be your beginning. One day, you will look back and say, this was the moment I started living. Your journey will not be easy. You will fail. You will feel alone. You will doubt yourself. But if you keep going, if you stay true to what you love, one day you will look back and realize every step mattered. Every pain had meaning. Every moment shaped you. And just like Tom, you will say, this is who I am. Thank you for listening. Keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you in the next story.